Today we are going to see a very difficult part, as they say. There is nothing difficult in it. Only thing is, people who are afraid of doing a little bit calculation, they find it difficult. So it is not generally taken very well by anybody. But I will tell you, uh, there is no trick and all. Only trick is you just have to keep on calculating with your patience. So that's all. So what we are going to do today is the part which is generally ignored everywhere. That is the solution of homogeneous and non-homogeneous system by using state variable. And this is why, if you see outside world, this is the reason why we do state variable analysis. And as this is little complicated, generally it is avoided. Okay. And students also are not confident about it, but I'm giving you this. I'll be giving you all these notes. So yesterday night only I have done all the calculation. It is a little big, I accept, but it is not difficult. So have a courage to solve this, because whenever some system is given, so initially we are going to take a simpler system, x dot t is equal to axt. This is called as a homogeneous system. So whenever I'm saying homogeneous system, it means that there is no input, there is no external forcing function. You can see that that but part is not there. Okay, so only it is x dot t is equal to axt. Okay, or if you want to write x dot t, it can be written as x1 dot t, x2 dot t if it is a 2 by 2 matrix. Xt also can be written as x1 t, x2 t. So the way I'm writing it, in no books you will be finding it like this, because books they are writing more technical, but I'm writing the way students would like to understand. And when I was a student, I was taught state variable and it was not taught properly. Okay, because generally everybody follows the books, but there are some notations which student miss. So I'm writing as vivid as possible so that you can understand things. So it's a homogeneous system equation. So this x dot t is equal to axt. This is actually homogeneous system equation, which can be also given as x1 dot t, x2 dot t. And I'm telling you, don't worry about exams and all. So we are not doing it for the exams. We are preparing ourselves for maybe final research or maybe campus placements, or actually we are actually learning control systems. So ACE and IA2 and all those things, it will happen eventually, and this part is not there in IA2, so you don't need to worry. But learn this, because whenever I am giving you some system, let it be an electrical system, mechanical system and all, first we have to write down its system equation and differential, then we have to find transfer function, then we have to find what are the state variables, and finally we are supposed to find out the solution of that. Because what are the state variables? If you say RLC series circuit, IT and VCT, I want to know what is the equation of IT. I want to know what is the equation of VCT, because those are the things I want to find out. Those are the equations I want to know. Those are the variables I want to plot with respect to time. So if you see, this is any system where there is no external input, only depending on the initial condition. So whenever I am saying it's a homogeneous system, whatever response you get, whatever x1t and x2t you get from this equation, that is x1 dot t is equal to axt. So this A is actually a 2 by 2 matrix. That will be your transient response. And whenever I am giving plus but, that is called as a forced response. So we will be finding both. So we are going to see initially the homogeneous system. There is no forcing function. That means there is no external input. Whatever x1t and x2t we are getting after solving this x1 dot t and x2 dot t, this state variable homogeneous system, whatever x1t and x2t we will get. So what is meant by solution of state variable? So x1 dot t or x dot t is equal to axt is given. From there you are finding what is x1t and x2t equation. That is what is called as solution of state variable. Anybody going for any higher study in field of control system, digital control system, it will start from here. Okay, and this part is not taught properly, and this part is not given properly in the book. So understand this for future. Okay, so it's a homogeneous system equation. It has initial condition. This should be mentioned. Okay, so what is the x1 0 and what is x2 0? So initially, whenever you are starting the system, whenever you have started taking the output, what is the initial condition? So either it may be 1 0 or it can be 0 1. 0 0 initial condition means initially relaxed system. So in that case, this x1t, x2t will be 0. So there is no initial condition, means there is no homogeneous response, because this homogeneous system response depends all on initial conditions. So I give you 1 0 1 1 1 2 if it is two-dimensional. If it is three-dimensional, again 1 0 1 1 2 3 1 5 7, something should be given, initial value of x1 0 x2 0 and x3 0 if it is a three-dimensional. So that should be given. So it's a homogeneous system. It has initial condition as the state variable mentioned, xt0 matrix. So this is how, or x0t sometime it is, or x0. There are many ways the initial conditions are represented. So nevertheless, that is x1 0 and x2 0. So if there are two state variables, what is the initial value? That means before you have applied any voltage, before you have done anything to the system, what are the initial values of those state variables? So like capacitor voltage, so capacitor was used previously, and after that you are using the capacitor for the next experimentation. So capacitor is having very small 0.2 volt in it, so that means x20 will be 0.2. Inductive current, so you have used the RLC's whatever inductor you have used, that you have used previously, and that inductive current value is stored already. So inductor and capacitor, they are the memory elements. So inductor current remains there, because whenever you are using a magnetism property, you are finding there is an electromagnet. You put some DC, a coil becomes magnet. After you remove the DC supply, then also some magnetism is retained in that coil. That is called as retentivity. Okay, same way, this inductive coil retains some current. So there may be 0.3 ampere or maybe 0.3 milliampere, maybe current is there in between. So if I say that this is a second order circuit, this is IT or ILT, and this is VCT. So maybe this example, so initial condition may be 0.3 and 0.2 likewise. So in this case, we are finding that x1 0, that is the first state variable, is having initial condition 1, second state variable having initial condition 0. That means maybe IL is 1 ampere and VC 0 is 0 volt. Okay, or maybe ILT is initial value, IL 0 actually is 1 ampere and VC 0 may be 2 volt. So this condition should be given to you generally while finding the homogeneous system solution. So what is given is x dot t is equal to axt. A matrix is a 2 by 2 matrix. It's a system matrix. How can you find the solution? That means xt is equal to e raised to at x0. As simple as that. We know how to find e raised to at. That is nothing but the state transition matrix. This is the first thing we are supposed to find out. So what is the solution of homogeneous system equation? It is very easy. Solution of homogeneous system equation is given by xt is equal to e raised to at into x0. That's all. E raised to at we know how to find out. So Si minus A we find first. Only A matrix should be given. Si minus A you find, then find Si minus A inverse, then take inverse Laplace transform. And then xt0 or x0. So x0 is given. So e raised to at is a 2 by 2 matrix. Just multiply this xt0, it's a 2 cross 1. So if you're multiplying a 2 cross 2 with 2 cross 1, final answer is 2 cross 1. So 2 cross 2, uska left wala le lo 2, and next one is 2 cross 1, uska right wala. So that will be the dimension of the output matrix. Again, I'll repeat, e raised to at is a 2 cross 2. So uska left wala 2 le lo, and xt0 is 2 cross 1. So uska right wala value le lo 1. So e raised to at into xt0 will be a 2 cross 1 matrix. That means this xt is nothing but column matrix of x1t and x2t. So x1t and x2t you will be finding what is the value. So remember this, what is the homogeneous solution? It is e raised to at into xt0. So yesterday's 3 by 3 numerical also we have done the same thing. Now again go back to yesterday's lecture and see the last numerical we have solved. So I had given you a matrix of 3 by 3. I asked you find what is e raised to at. You had find out e raised to at. And then one xt0 was given to you, that is initial condition. It should be given. Some column matrix will be given to you. So in this case, I have given the column matrix as maybe 1 0 or 1 2 or something. So multiply e raised to at with that, and you are going to find what is called as the homogeneous system solution. So I have explained it with respect to a numerical. If you don't understand the theory, let it go. Just see this numerical and you will understand what is meant by a homogeneous system and what is how to find the solution of that. Again, I'm telling you, x dot t is equal to axt. It is given, so there is no but given here, so there is no forcing function, and initial condition is given to you. xt0 is given as 1 0. That means x1 0 is equal to 1 and x2 0 is equal to 0. So this you have to understand. Above system is homogeneous as ut is not given. So find solution of x dot t if xt0 is equal to 1 0. So initial condition given. We know how to find phi t is equal to e raised to at. So I think we have already found this transfer function initially. So yesterday's lecture, if you see, this thing is solved there, and we had found out like this. So first step in any homogeneous system solution is finding the e raised to at matrix. So we have found e raised to at matrix like this, and just multiply 1 0 with that. So e raised to at is the first step. Si minus a inverse, whatever you get, take the inverse Laplace of that, and this is how you're finding. And I'm telling you, this is not done properly anywhere, and that's why student gets scared. But there is nothing to scare about, because we know all the details, and numericals are this easy only. So don't get scared in finding e raised to at. Yes, there is an issue with the partial fraction. I will take a lecture on partial fraction in next week. Okay, so you will understand what are the all intermediate steps in finding e raised to at, and these are the things which are asked in the interviews and exams all over the world. So how to find e raised to at? Only partial fraction may be the issue, because you know what is Laplace, you can find it out. So after you find e raised to at, what you do is solution x1t and x2t. So what is given? Given is x1 dot t and x2 dot t. Okay, so x dot t, the x1 dot t, x2 dot t may be called as x dot t. And depending on the dimension of A matrix, you can come to know what is going to be the dimension of X dot. So if A matrix is given 2 by 2, that means this X dot T is a 2 cross 1 matrix, or it is X1 dot T and X2 dot T. That means you are defining actually 2 state variables. Now, how to find X1T and X2T? That is meant by solution. So X1 dot, X2 dot is given. From there, how to find X1T and X2T equation? So you're finding here, if you're multiplying e raised to at with xt0, so here this is e raised to at, and this is xt0, or this is the initial condition, which should be given. Okay, generally in the exams it is given. So you multiply them, so only you are finding that this first column will prevail. So this is 2 e raised to minus t minus e raised to minus 2t, 2 e raised to minus 2t minus 2 e raised to minus t. So this is actually the solution of the homogeneous system x dot t is equal to axt. Now I can ask you the same thing in your lab number 9. And I can give you the same A matrix and initial condition, and I can ask you plot, okay, x1t and x2t. So then this is the equation of x1t, this is the equation of x2t. Now you just plot. We know how to plot. Okay, so from t is equal to maybe 1 to 5 at the state of 0.01, you plot this. So it is e raised to minus t and minus e raised to minus 2t. So e raised to minus t, 2 e raised to minus t to start from t is equal to at t is equal to 0. This 2 e raised to minus t will be having amplitude of 2, because initially t is equal to 0, and then keep on substituting different states. Different states means keep on substituting the value of t as 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 up to 5, 10, whatever you want, and you can plot whatever is x1t. So what is the ideal range of time? From 0 to infinity. That is the plot, but not necessary to plot up to infinity. You can plot up to 5, 10, whatever. So the same numerical I'm going to ask in your lab number 9. This will be the first question. That is, find the homogeneous solution of the system when A matrix is given as 0, 1, minus 2, minus 3. So it is given here, A matrix is like this. And initial condition I will change there. Okay, so initial condition I may make something different. So I can give you initial condition as 1 minus 1. That is also possible. Okay, and then you have to do this multiplication. So hand calculation you have to do in case of lab 9A. Hand calculation you have to do. You have to find what is x1t, x2t. And then whatever equation you get, you have to just plot that. So the plot will happen in MATLAB for 0.1 time sampling, and for any time duration, maybe from 0 to 5 seconds. So this is how we are finding the solution of homogeneous system. And it is easy, because just we have to find e raised to at and multiply x0 with that. So this was the first case. Second case, what we are saying is, now the substitute different values of time t in the equation. So I'm explaining the same thing to get the various states of the state variables x1t, x2t. So for two-dimensional RLC circuit, ILT is equal to x1t is equal to 2 e raised to minus t, and VCT is this. So I have just put some analogy. Okay, so whatever is the ILT, whatever is the VCT, so x1 is maybe IL or maybe IT, the way we have called in case of RLC circuit. For second, x2t was VCT, so VCT is equal to this. Because for RLC circuit, maybe the A matrix was 0, 1, minus 2, minus 3. I'm just telling you because it is depending on the value of R, L, and C. We have come to know what is the A matrix for RLC circuit. Now we are finding the state variables, and we are trying to plot how much is the circuit current and how much is the circuit voltage. So in this, you just substitute different values of time and you're going to get what is the homogeneous system solution. But only thing is, why this is called homogeneous? So homogeneous system state variable gives only the initial condition based response, or which is called as zero input response, or which is called as transient response. So this is what you have to remember. Whenever I'm saying it's a homogeneous system, there is no external output. So UT part is not there. Okay, we are not triggering the system from by using some kind of external source or external energy. We're just saying if there is any energy stored in the system, how is this thing dissipated and how is this thing coming at the output. So here, whatever x1 and x2t I have found, that is actually the transient response or initially stored energy, whatever is there in the system. How the circuit will respond with respect to that, that actually I am representing by using homogeneous system response. Now next is the most very difficult thing student cannot understand, and nothing like that. Nobody attempts it. That is the problem. Nobody tells you properly and nobody attempts it. There is nothing difficult. So all this thing I have made yesterday night, it took half an hour, 45 minutes just to find it out. No books, only some numerical you can take. You can just find out what is e raised to at, just multiply and do integration and all, and you will find. So first let us know what is meant by non-homogeneous system. So for non-homogeneous system, the external forcing function ut should be given. Now don't catch me in the variable. Okay, so this qx dot t is equal to axt plus but. This is how the actual state variable representation is given. This is how the standard first set of state variable equation is given. Or some book it might be written as q dot t is equal to aqt plus bxt. Okay, I repeat, q dot t is equal to aqt plus bxt. Okay, so in that case, q dot is nothing but the state variables differential. Qt is nothing but the q1t, q2t. So in that case, I'm representing q as the state variable. Here I have represented x as the state variable. And actually qx, all these are some kind of symbol. The actual state variable in circuit is different. Some current, some voltage, some force, power, something like that. Okay, so x1, x2, q1, q2, they are nothing but representing symbols. Okay, but actual circuit you have to do in terms of current, voltage, force, power, all these things. Okay, and this ut can be impulse, it can be unit step, it can be ramp, parabolic, sinusoidal, anything. Okay, so now in this system it is called non-homogeneous because in this case external forcing function is given. So you are finding that axt plus but. So previously only x dot t is equal to axt was given, and I found that what was the response. So this is now a non-homogeneous system. Solution of the non-homogeneous system with the external input is ut is given by. Now this is a very big formula and everybody is scared about that. But let us understand this. There is nothing difficult, but it is not for everybody. Those who are thinking that anyway this chapter should be left and all these things, they are doing a very big mistake, because in industry or anywhere you go, this is the thing they are doing. They are not doing root locus. They are not doing stability analysis. This is how they are doing. And I'll tell you, from this state variable also you can find stability of the system much easier way, much better way than the other methods. And here actually, if you are able to represent everything or the system in terms of matrices and all, the computer will calculate, the MATLAB will calculate all these things for you. Okay, so you won't have to calculate anything. You just input ABCD matrix and everything will be calculated by the system itself. So I'm always taking you one step ahead. I'm not worrying about IA or I'm not worrying about SE and all these things. This is actually preparing you with control system. So you will be having a better insight about the system, and everything is there in the syllabus. So all the topics I'm giving, all the notes I'm giving, just you have to give time, because now huge amount of material is with you. But if you read from 13th chapter of the book M. Gopal, I think 12th or 13th chapter, all these things are given there. But it is not given as cleanly as it is given here. Okay, so only this many pages you do, and I write more. So all these things could be written within 2-3 pages, but I have written 7 pages. You can see my handwriting is big and all those things. So just see. Okay, so now the system is given as x dot t is equal to axt plus but. How to find the solution for this non-homogeneous system? First thing, why this is non-homogeneous? Because now the ut is given. Okay, because forcing function is given. That's why it is called as a non-homogeneous. And how to find the solution? The solution is xt. So if I say it's a two-dimensional matrix. That means two state variables. So this xt will be x1t, x2t. Okay, so what is the system? X dot t is equal to axt plus but. This is the system. X dot t is equal to axt plus but. And what is the solution? Solution, there is no differentiation here. This is x1t and x2t. I have to find by this e raised to a t into xt0. We have already found it. So this is the response for initial condition, to be found in the same way as was found in case of homogeneous system solution. Okay, so e raised to a t into xt0, same way you had found out previously. In the same way you have to discuss it here. Okay, so e raised to a t into xt0. You have to find first what is the state transition matrix everywhere. So here also in non-homogeneous, in the forcing function response also, that state transition matrix is here. Only instead of t you have to substitute t minus tau. So you have done that formula of convolution. You know what is tau. The same thing is here. So tau is a variable. We are arbitrary variable we are taking in the system. So how to find this part is the main problem. Okay, that's why generally people avoid it, but there is nothing to avoid. I have solved two numericals. I will show you. So first thing is e raised to a t x0. X0 will be given to you, xt0. This is the initial condition. So e raised to a t xt0. So actual non-homogeneous system response is having two parts. The first part is called as ZIR, zero input response, which we have already found with respect to the initial condition. And if initial condition is all zero, that means system is initially relaxed, then this e raised to a t xt0 system part also will be zero. So if the system is initially relaxed, if you're talking about RLC system, IT and VC, they are zero. That means this e raised to a t xt0 part will be zero. So if there is no initial condition, initially relaxed system, there will be no zero input response. There will be no transient response, okay, in the system. So these are the things, main thing they are asking during interviews or gate exam or big examinations. And this is completely the application part of control system. Okay, so stay tuned. Don't leave the session. I'm finding all the big people of this class, they are leaving the session. So stay with me. Okay, so first part is the zero input response or transient response or system response for the initial conditions. Now this is the response for or right side part 0 to t. Okay, so 0 to t e raised to a t minus tau. So whatever e raised to a t you find there, instead of t you substitute t minus tau. B matrix is given. So for x dot t is equal to axt plus but, B matrix is having dimension of 2 cross 1. E raised to a t minus tau is having a dimension of 2 cross 2. And this B is having a 2 cross 1. So if you multiply this e raised to a t minus tau into B, you will be finding it's a column matrix. Okay, so here e raised to a t into x0 also is a column matrix. Xt is also a column matrix, x1t and x2t. E raised to a t into xt0, it's also a column matrix, 2 cross 1. E raised to a t minus tau B, if you multiply them, it will also be a column matrix. Okay, that means you will be finding an equation of x1t is equal to this initial part plus this forced part. X2t also will be an initial part, ZIR part plus forced part. Okay, so all the steps are given in the numerical. Be careful. U tau. Either you write ut or u tau or ux or uv, anything. That is actually unit step, that is having amplitude 1. Okay, and it is in time domain. Okay, so if I say input is 2 ut, that means you have to substitute u tau as 2. If I say it is 10 volt or 10 steps, then you have to substitute u tau as 10. So it's a scalar kind of a thing. It's a direct amplitude you can write. So generally we give this as u tau. We don't make the numerical difficult for you, because if I give u tau as a ramp, in that case this integration, okay, will become very difficult. Okay, so generally we give u tau as 1, 2, 3 some dimension generally. Okay, so response for the input or forcing function. So you are finding that actually we are finding x1t and x2t, and in that solution, this is actually xt is the solution of state variables. So x dot is equal to axt plus but, it is given, and we are trying to find out what is xt. Xt is nothing but, this is a matrix, this is x1t, x2t, and this is nothing but ZIR plus the forcing function response. How to find the forcing function response? First find e raised to a t. It is already found for the previous case. Then put t as t minus tau in e raised to a t. So we'll be finding that this e raised to a t minus tau, this is a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, and then multiply B with that. B is a 2 cross 1 matrix. B is the input matrix. Do the multiplication, substitute u tau is equal to 1. So all this thing, if you multiplying, you will be getting this is a 2 cross 1 matrix. Okay, that means two integration you have to do. One for the upper thing, upper first row, another for the second row. So again, I'm telling you, this is a 2 cross 2 matrix, e raised to a t minus tau, and B is a 2 cross 1 matrix. If you're multiplying them, you are going to get e raised to a t minus tau into B. This is a 2 cross 1 matrix. That means this will be a first row, second row. Okay, first row of d tau, second row of d tau, and this is up to from 0 to t. And generally u tau is given as some kind of 1 volt, 2 volt, or 1 volt DC, 1 unit step, 2 unit step, like that. So don't worry about u tau, only worry about B. If I give B as 0, 0, in that case, the whole response becomes 0. Okay, or if I give u tau is equal to 0, the whole response becomes 0. So u tau is equal to 0 for homogeneous system. So that you have to understand. That's why this part becomes 0 for homogeneous system. We find only e raised to at into xt0. So how to find this non-homogeneous system response? That means how to find the system response for given input. So this first part is system response for the initial condition, whatever energy is already stored in the system. Due to that, what is the system response? That part is given by e raised to at xt0. This is called zero input response. And this latter part is called as a zero state response, ZSR. And total response is equal to ZIR plus ZSR. So this we have to do till the last step of the numerical. So now let us face the challenge and let us find out all these things for the given system. So 2 numericals I have solved, and there is another numerical in my notes for 3 cross 3 matrix of A. So that is supposed to be the more difficult numerical, but it is not. Generally, we ask 2 by 2 matrix solution for non-homogeneous system only. So in this case, it is given, find the state variable, state response solution, or find the state variable or state response or solution of the state variable. All things are same. Actually, we are supposed to find out what is the equation of x1t and what is the equation of x2t from the state variable given to you. And you can see here, there is no yt matrix given. Only x dot t is equal to axt is given. And take my word, all this solution can be done by using MATLAB. You won't have to do any kind of hand calculation. But yes, for the exams or for the sake of knowing how it is happening, I told you that this is the beauty of state transition or state variable model. That is every internal step can be found out. So how every signal is propagating, how every signal is getting modified by the system, that can be found out by using the state variable analysis. So that you can find out while you are doing the hand calculation. So now x1 dot t or x2 dot t or x dot t. So these things are same. Whenever I'm giving x dot t, it means that x1 dot t, x2 dot t is equal to -1, -2, 0, 0. So this is called as a diagonal form of A matrix. Okay, and x1t, x2t plus 1, 1 ut. So this is given. Okay, so there is no yt. C and D matrix are not required for finding homogeneous and non-homogeneous solution. Only A and B matrix are given. I can find out what is the non-homogeneous system solution. So this is same as x dot t is equal to axt plus but, where x dot t and xt are the 2 cross 1 matrix. So either you say left side x dot t, that means x1 dot t, x2 dot t, or this is xt. Okay, so xt is nothing but x1t, x2t. They are 2 cross 1 matrix. B is also a 2 cross 1 matrix. So there is a B matrix which is a 2 cross 1 matrix. This B matrix is called as an input matrix. A or system matrix is 2 cross 2. So this is a matrix which is called most important matrix for finding any solution. E raised to at is found out only from that. So only A matrix is given, I can find out E raised to at, state transition matrix. और कुछ चीज की जरूरत नहीं होती है. Okay, and state transition matrix, this actually tells you how the state is changing from going from one point to another. So keep on changing the value of t, e raised to at matrix will keep on changing, e raised to at or 2 cross 2 matrix, and you will be finding that how the state variables are evolving through the time, that you can find out from e raised to at for different times. So only A matrix is required. And as this is given in diagonal form, very easily you can find out, as it is -1 and -2, its e raised to at will be e raised to minus t and e raised to minus 2t. You can find out. Okay, so find SI minus A inverse and then take ILT. Directly you can write down as it is given in diagonal form. We know that state transition matrix will be e raised to minus t and e raised to minus 2t. And the 0, 0 will be 0, 0. Okay, now you are supposed to find the solution with the given input. So input in this case given are ut. So ut you can assume it's a unit step. If nothing is given, you can assume ut as a unit step. So finding solution of the given state variable model means finding the equation of state variables x1 and x2t. in the time domain, where x1 t0 and x2 t0 should be given. I have given you x1 t0, x2 t0 as 1 0. So this thing should be mentioned. And if I want to make it complicated, I will ask it 2 and 5, 7 and 9. If I want to make things easy for you, I will be asking it is 1 0. Diagonal form, SI minus A inverse or ILT of that is e raised to AT. Directly you can find out e raised to AT as e raised to minus t 0 0 and e raised to minus 2t. You can find it out, you can test. Okay, so as I have told you all those things, I'm doing the numerical, I'm running out of time, so this step I have not done, but we have done enough numerical on how to find e raised to AT. So you can see all those, you can try, and you will come to this very important, significant conclusion. That is how to find e raised to AT. So e raised to AT is e raised to minus t and e raised to minus 2t. Now e raised to AT is found, and we know what is xt0. So directly if you multiply them, you are going to find what is the ZIR. Okay, what is meant by zero input response. Okay, so this if you multiply, you are going to find out what is ZIR. So you are finding that this non-homogeneous system solution is having two parts. So how to give it xt in sorry, I had to give a bracket here because xt is a matrix now. That is x1t, x2t. So that is actually how we are finding the two variables. Okay, so what is two variable? Now you can see that there is a non-homogeneous system given here. Two variables are given, but their rate of change is given. Okay, how these two variables are changing with respect to time, that is actually coordinated with respect to A matrix, X matrix, B matrix, and U. Now I am asked to find out the solution of this state variable system. Now this is xt, x1t, x2t. This is actually e raised to AT. Okay, multiply with 1 0. Okay, and now here, now I am finding, I'm telling you the most difficult part which nobody understands, nobody does it. There's nothing difficult in that. Whatever e raised to AT is there, instead of t, substitute t minus tau. Okay, so सीधा चीज को सीधा तरीके से समझो. And this is the B matrix given 1 1. You can see here, you can go up and you can find that B matrix is given as 1 1. And input is given, input is not mentioned, so that's a mistake I made. Input is u tau. Okay, so this is this part. If you do, it's a integration you have to do, and don't get scared with integration. It's very simple. There's nothing that there in integration, and it is not big integration we are doing. Very simple thing, and ek do numerical dekh lo, that's it. Okay, so e raised to AT, substitute t is equal to t minus tau. So this is e raised to minus, instead of t I have substituted t minus tau. And this integration is done with respect to d tau. So every small thing you have to care for. So आज के दिन ही I will post all these things. एक बार बैठ के ये 6-7 पेज देख लो. That's it. You have understood the most difficult part of control system. There is nothing difficult in it. So e raised to minus t minus tau. So here it was e raised to minus 2t. So t के जगह पे t minus tau डाल दो. That's all. So x1t, x2t. This is e raised to AT into initial part, initial condition which should be given, plus integration of 0 to t. This is the e raised to AT minus tau. Okay, B matrix u tau. That means you have to substitute that as 1. Now if you're doing that, now do the multiplication. So first do the first part. So homogeneous part solution, this is e raised to t. This is 1 0. If you multiply, you will get e raised to minus t and 0. So there's a 2 cross 1 matrix. So ये हो गया. So initial part, whatever is given, that is ZIR, zero input response, or whatever is the solution given by the initial condition. And you are finding that VC was not having initial condition, or X2 was not having initial condition. So X2 was having initial condition 0. Okay, because this is given, 1 0 is given as initial condition. As X2 was having initial condition 0, what you will be finding that the ZIR part of X2, that is also equal to 0. Okay, that means the transient part of x1, it will reduce exponentially as e raised to minus t. You know what is the graph? It falls exponentially, starts at t is equal to 0, it is 1, and t is equal to infinity, it is 0. So this is e raised to minus t. And as the initial part was 0, initial condition of second state variable was 0, you have found that the 0 is multiplied with 1 and 1 is multiplied with 0. So you are finding that the second state variable is not having any initial response. So second state variable is guided only by the input. Second state variable is not having any kind of initial response. So this is the first part you have found, first part of the solution. Now second part, that is the forced response that you are supposed to find. Okay, so here I have written some notes. So this is a 2 cross 1 matrix. This is the initial condition based response. Okay, So e raised to minus t and 0 is the first part of the solution. So solution given by the initial condition u tau has amplitude 1 in time domain. So I have not mentioned it initially, but now I'm telling you, if nothing is given, you can take u tau as unit step. So this is the first part of solution. Now the most important part, most difficult part, nobody understands. Let's see that. So this is e raised to a t minus tau. Okay, so instead of t, you have to substitute t minus tau. That much is there. And now multiply this initial condition B matrix with that and 1. So your 1 to gaya, u tau is gone. So if you're multiplying this, what you are going to find out. So here t parameter to be taken as a constant. So in this integration, this integration is being done with respect to tau. So ये सब छोटा छोटा चीज है जो बुक में दिया नहीं रहता है. So that's why you should understand it from the lecture itself. So everything has to be, all the integration has to be done with respect to tau. So first e raised to at you have there, substitute t as t minus tau. You get e raised to a t minus tau. Instead of t, you are saying t minus tau. That's all. And then in the e raised to at, substitute t as t minus tau. Then you can open it up. So this is e raised to minus t. I have done it here. You can see. So if you're multiplying 1, 1, then both this thing prevails. So multiply this 2 by 2 with 1, 1. So what you're finding is it is given below. Okay, so solution. The solution, whatever I have written here in the left side, the forced response part of the solution is equal to integration of e raised to t minus tau b u tau. Multiply this, you are finding e raised to minus t minus tau, e raised to minus 2t minus tau d tau. So 2 integration you have to do. Okay, that's all. Now here the t parameter is to be taken as a constant because you are doing integration with respect to tau. Okay, so tau has to be integrated. E raised to t part, e raised to minus 2t part, you keep it as a constant. Observe the integration to be done with respect to tau and not with respect to t. So it's a request, please go through all the 7 pages today itself. And this will be a lifetime understanding for you. It is not difficult. Only thing is you have to understand. That's all. और एक बार देख लो बस. Don't just leave it like that. एक बार देख लो. Request to you. I know not all the 56 students will do that, but at least 10 people will do that. They will understand, and this is the crux. If you understand this, there's a very big boost you will have in the field of control system because all the experiments, all the analysis you can do by using computer itself. Okay, just one sec. Okay, so now I guess this part is visible. Much of the thing we have done already. So whatever is the initial part given, this is the initial response, and now next is the forced response. So how to find it? Substitute t as t minus tau, multiply B matrix, multiply u tau, and you are getting like this. Now here, just be little observant. E raised to minus t I have taken separately. E raised to minus enters e raised to tau d tau. Okay, second part e raised to minus 2t and e raised to plus 2 tau. Okay, now in this case I have taken the e raised to minus t outside because the integration has to be done with respect to d tau. So this e raised to minus t I have taken outside, so integration of 0 to t e tau, and e raised to minus 2t also I have taken outside. Okay, and the integration has to be done with respect to e raised to 2 tau. That's all. So step by step, slowly you proceed. There is no hurry. Okay, so e raised to minus t minus tau was there, so break it first. E raised to a plus b is equal to e raised to a into e raised to b. Then e raised to minus t part you separate, and e raised to tau part you keep inside like this. What is the integration of e raised to tau? It is e raised to tau only. Okay, so this is what I have written, e raised to tau 0 to t. And what is the integration of e raised to 2 tau? It is e raised to 2 tau by 2. Okay, so that's why I have done this as half into e raised to 2 tau and 0 to t. Now here above you have to substitute tau as t and tau as 0. So you have done e raised to minus t is there. E raised to t has to be taken as a constant. It is kept outside. So this is here I have substituted t. So this is e raised to t minus e raised to 0. And now this is half into e raised to minus 2t. So e raised to 2t minus e raised to 0. So if you substitute that, you are going to get this e raised to minus 2t into e raised to t. So this will become 1. and e raised to minus 2t into e raised to 0. E raised to 0 is 1. So it becomes 1 minus e raised to minus t and half into 1 minus e raised to minus t. So this is actually the x1 and x2, the forced response part. So there are two responses. First one is the natural response. So we found it e raised to minus t and 0. And second one is the forced response, which is nothing but 1 minus e raised to minus t and half of 1 minus e raised to minus 2t. Now x1t, x2t, this is the solution. This is the formula e raised to at x0. This is the natural response part, or ZIR, or zero input response. And next is this whole big thing which everybody is scared about, which nobody tries to attempt. There is nothing difficult in that. It has been shown here like this. मैं तोड़ के किया, that's why it has become big. Otherwise, with practice, you can do it in 2 minutes. So now this has become 1 minus e raised to minus t and niche half 1 minus e raised to minus 2t. So this part is called as a natural response, and this part is called as a forced response. So I think definitely you have done this thing in signals and systems also. Whenever I give you y double dot t plus something of y dot t plus yt is equal to something of x dot t plus something xt. In that case, we can solve that in Laplace domain, and we can substitute the initial conditions. Then we can separate out the initial conditions and forced response. And then we can show what is the ZIR part, what is the ZSR part, ZIR part, zero state response, and finally we add them to get the overall response. So overall response is nothing but the addition of natural response or zero input response or initial condition based response, which is the first part, and forced response. So this forced response is happening because of this UT. This forced response is happening because of the input, external input that we are giving. And this initial part is happening whatever was the initially stored energy. So if you add them, x1t, you are adding this. So e raised to minus t, e raised to minus t gets cancelled. So you are finding x1t is equal to 1. So what we are finding, biggest thing is you have to comment. So whenever you are doing this lab, you have to comment on all this final results. Okay, so x1t and x2t, what you are finding is x2t here natural response was 0. And here x2t is half into 1 minus e raised to minus 2t. So how they look like, that you have to now plot by using MATLAB. For any time interval you choose. So x1t will look like this. So x1t is a DC. Okay, x1t is a DC straight. And x2t, how it looks like, this is half into 1 minus e raised to minus 2t. And it increases like this. Okay, it increases like this. So half into 1 minus e raised to minus. So 1 minus e raised to minus theta, or 1 minus e raised to minus t. It's a increasing kind of a graph. Okay, starts at t is equal to 0, because at t is equal to 0, e raised to minus 2t will be 1. That is e raised to 0 is equal to 1. So at t is equal to 0, this amplitude is 0. Okay, and at t is equal to infinity, e raised to minus 2t is 0. That means half into 1 minus 0. That means half. That means 0.5. So that's why you will be finding that this response, that is second state variable response. So first state variable response is irrespective of time. So up to t is equal to infinity, you will be finding that xt is equal to 1. Okay, so this is actually what's happening. Pahad khoda nikla chuha, that kind of thing, that with all after these calculations, you are finding that the first state variable is becoming a constant. It's a ut only. So whatever is the input given, that is actually appearing as the x1t. But second state variable actually is increasing like this. So with respect to time, it increases and it goes and attains the steady state. So this is half into 1 minus e raised to minus 2t. At t is equal to 0, x2 is 0 is here. At t is equal to 4, x2 is almost 0.5. Okay, and at t is equal to infinity, e raised to minus 2t becomes 0, and it is 0.5. So these are the two responses, and these are the two responses you have to find out by using MATLAB. Okay, and all our previous other part, finding, calculation, all these things you have to do by hand calculation. So whatever numerical I'm solving here, the same numerical you have to do in experiment number 9. Okay, so do the calculation as this, and if I have made any calculation mistake, that you can find out. So don't copy it blindly. Just do these calculations on your own. Now let us have another numerical, because previous case it was little bit easy on your part. So I was doing it for the first time, so I made it a little bit easy. And the ease was, I have defined the A matrix as a diagonal matrix. Okay, so that's why directly you could find out e raised to at, and e raised to at was directly e raised to minus t and e raised to minus 2t, even if you did not do the step SI minus A inverse and all. So it was little bit easy numerical for you. But next case, this is a general numerical, So this is also not difficult, but yes, you have to do some partial fraction and all those things, and you have to learn how is it. So find the state variable solution of the non-homogeneous system. Same process, same process. Only thing is it will getting bigger with more number of variables, more number of terms. Okay, but there is no competition. आराम से बैठो, आराम से solve करो. And this is not for very difficult thing. It is actually very easy, and it is repetitive. Okay, so there is nothing new I can add to it. Only I can make B matrix more difficult. Maybe UT I can ask as T. So तुम्हारा जो integration hai, that might become a bit difficult, but generally this is the type of numerical we ask in the exam. So find the state variable solution for non-homogeneous system model. Here A matrix is not given as a diagonal. Okay, and this is the B matrix, and this is the initial condition like this, and assume UT as the unit step input. So everything is given. So previous, because I forgot to mention UT in some of the exams while setting the question, we forgot to exam UT. In that case, you have to assume. We forgot to mention xt0. You can assume, okay, but don't assume xt0 as 0 0. In that case, sub 0 ho jayega. Don't assume B matrix as 0 0. In that case, sub 0 ho jayega. So assume 0 1 or 1 0. एक 0 रखो उसमें, so your work will become easier. दोनों 1 ले लिए, in that case work will become little difficult. Okay, so how to define that also is a trick. So in this case, just check xt0. I have put both as existing. So in this case, your job will become little difficult. What is the first step? First step always is to find out e raised to at. So that is phi t state transition matrix. So Si minus A you first find, and then Si minus A. This is the determinant you find. So this is S square plus 5S plus 4. And it's a request to all of you. You please do this numerical on your own today. तुम सब steps खुद करो and tell me whether my solution is correct or not. Because I have done it with all my accuracy, but maybe I have gone some wrong here and there. But you should practice this numerical only first. Okay, and you can check. Okay, so you just have to tell me whether I'm correct or not. Now Si minus A inverse 1 by S plus 1 S plus 4, because there is only steps. Okay, so how to do it, this is one thing you should know, and those who are good at calculation, they will be able to get it right. Otherwise, if you're doing all the steps, some marks is always given to you, and this kind of numerical attempting is always appreciated. Okay, so understand the steps. Okay, not the numerical, it is not specific. So this is 1 by delta, and then take the adjoint cofactor and all those things. So how to do it? So just exchange these two things. S plus 5 goes up, S comes down, and this minus 2 and plus 2, they change the sign. So this 2 becomes minus 2 becomes plus 2. This plus 2 becomes minus 2, and S plus 5 and S, they have changed this position. This is phi S. So only finding state transition matrix, this can be a numerical. So I can give you the A matrix as 0 to minus 2 minus 5, and I can ask you find the state transition matrix. So that also can be asked for 6 or 8 marks, and it can be taken as a separate question. So what is phi e raised to at? Phi e raised to at is nothing but ILT of phi s. So whatever phi s I have done, it is given here, previous page. So here it was S plus 5, S plus 4, S plus 2, 2 by all those things. So then you have to do partial fraction. So there is nothing difficult in that. Only thing is you should know how to do it. Okay, and partial fraction is also a very easy thing. It is not at all time consuming. So S plus 5 by S plus 1, S plus 4, iska partial fraction karne mein, it doesn't take more than a minute. Or 1 minute bhi zyada ho gaya. In 30 seconds, you can find out what is this partial fraction. So all these partial fractions together, it should not take more than 2 minutes. Okay, and after you do partial fraction, it's in your domain, 4 by 3 S plus 1. So what is the inverse Laplace? 4 by 3 raised to minus t. So exam mein sochne ka time nahi hai. Exam is all about execution. Whatever thing you want to learn, whatever thing sochna wochna, usko pehle karna hai. Okay, throughout the semester we have to do that. During exam you cannot think, just you have to keep on executing and execute, keep on doing it fast. So after doing all these things, e raised to at, we have found it like this, and then find the homogeneous solution. So whatever is the e raised to at, multiply 1 and minus 1 with that, and you are finding this very big thing. So if you just adjust it, you are going to get this part. So 0 input response, x1t, x2t, it is like this. So 2 by 3 raised to minus t plus 1 by 3 raised to minus 4t, and here it is minus 2 by 3 raised to minus 4t and minus. So top and bottom, they are same. Both the state variables are same. Bottom is nothing but sorry, they are not same actually. The coefficients have crisscross, they are interchanged, but the bottom state variable is all negative. and top state variable is all positive. So how is this variable look like? E raised to minus 40 negative and minus 1 by 3 e raised to minus 2. So it starts at the bottom, okay, and it goes up and starts at 0. Exponentially it goes up. And x1t actually it starts at the top and it exponentially comes below. Okay, so this is actually the 0 input response. So e raised to 80 into x0 if you do, and then you just keep on doing the multiplication. That means whatever are the first column and second column element, this you have to subtract. So this first column minus second column, and this first column minus second column for both the rows, because the initial conditions are 1 and minus 1. So this is what you have to do. Next part, that is integration of 0 to t a t minus tau 0 1 u tau. So if you're doing that, you will be finding that you are keeping only the second column. Okay, so just check that how to do that. So here e raised to 80 I have written, and you are multiplying 0 and 1 with that. That means e raised to 80, there you have to substitute t as t minus tau, and first column is multiplied with 0, second column is multiplied with 1. That means only the second column will prevail from e raised to minus 80. So you can check here, this is the second column. Okay, so 2 by 3 e raised to minus t minus 2 by 3 e raised to minus 40. This will prevail, and 4 by 3 e raised to minus 40 and minus 1 by 3 e raised to minus t minus tau. So you are finding that the same second column, because it is given here 0 and 1. So whatever is the second column in e raised to a t minus tau, that will prevail here. Again the same thing. Here this is e raised to a t minus tau, this is b u tau. Okay, so u tau is ut is equal to 1. That means only the second column of the e raised to a t minus tau, that you have to take. And here again there is t, there is tau. So I have written it like this: 2 by 3 e raised to minus t I have separated, and 2 by 3 e raised to tau. So this whole 2 by 3 e raised to minus t, this is a constant. In the second term, minus 2 by 3 e raised to minus 4 tau. So minus 2 by 3 e raised to minus 4 tau, this is a constant. And you have to actually integrate e raised to plus 4 tau. So this is the second thing to be integrated. Third thing, 4 by 3 e raised to minus 4t, this is a constant. And e raised to 4 tau, this part has to be integrated, because all the integration is done with respect to tau. So here this was a 2 cross 1. I have now separated it. So 2 integrations. So here you can write 2 integrations also, top row and bottom row. And below line, minus 1 by 3 e raised to minus t I have kept outside, and e raised to tau I have integrated. So if you're doing that, it is not difficult. Only thing is you can say, yes, it is time consuming, it is big. In exam, you might not attempt it, it's okay. But at least now you practice it. So if you're doing integration of e raised to tau, it becomes 1, then substitute t and 0. So likewise, if you're doing, all the calculations are shown here. It is not difficult, it might be big. So this is the part which is called as zero state response of the system. Now you have found zero input response, zero state response. If you add them, then you are going what is the overall state variable x1t and x2t. So x1t and x2t, this is the zero input part, this is a zero state part. Zero state part means when the input is given forcing function, how much will be the response. So this is the response, and many of the parts are getting cancelled. So this minus 2 by 3 raised to minus t, they are getting cancelled, and all the things are getting cancelled. So you're finding finally, if you're adding the zero input and zero state, x1t is half plus half. That means half into 1 plus e raised to minus 4t. This is the thing you are finding, half into 1 plus e raised to minus 4t. And second part, x2t is equal to minus e raised to minus 4t. That means it will start at the bottom at minus 1, and as time increases it will come and reach to the plus 1. So these are the additions that I have done. So for ZIR part, ZSR part, if you are adding them, finally what you are getting is the x1t and x2t. So now this is called as finally the solution of the non-homogeneous system found is x1t is half into 1 plus e raised to minus 4t, and second one is x2t is equal to minus e raised to minus 4t. So it's a request to all of you, those who can, please solve this numerical with the given step and tell me if my answers are correct or not. Okay. Another practice problem I have posed, I have given a is equal to 0, 1, minus 2, minus 3. Already e raised to 80 is found. B is 0, 1. And xt0 I have given as 1, 0. Find the non-homogeneous system solution and plot the state variables. So one part is done. So 50% is already done, because for this we have already found what is e raised to 80. So you can do this numerical and you can tell me. So this seems to be the most difficult part in the whole control system. It is not done properly. It is not understood by students. But there is no step that you don't know. Okay, you know all the inverse Laplace, you know all the partial fraction and everything. All the thing is, do you have the guts to solve this thing in your own, in the exam or not? That is how it is. So I have explained the most difficult part. All numericals are done. Notes will be uploaded. Lecture will be uploaded. I stop here today. So tomorrow we will do numerical on controllability and observability. So that will kind of finish almost 80% of your module 5 portion. Thank you. That's all from my side today.